Greetings, Inquisitors! I'm glad you found this holocron. This is the week 53 update for the Darth Loquitur account. For any who aren't familiar, I go through my progress each week with this account. This is a big one. We did unlock the Sith Eternal Emperor and did a bunch of other account stuff, so 100,000 galactic power worth of stuff to look through this week. So this is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to start out with some clips from the C unlock. I did that as part of a live stream. I'll just take those clips and put them in here so that y'all don't have to go sort through the live streams to find it. So we'll get that logged in. We did unlock it in Halloween, so beware, there may be some Halloween costumes involved. But yeah, so fun stuff. All right, with that said, let's get into the review and take a look at that first. All right, here we go. Activate. The strategy worked. TK says grats. Thanks, man. Brilliant. All right, we were like almost exactly 1.9 million, so we're going to see if we can get ourselves up to a lot. Train him. 85. And that's step number 1. Upgrade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I should count the number of the gear tier. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So far, so good. Amplify. 1. Amplify. 2. Amplify. 3. Straight to 7, guys. That's what we want. We want straight to 7. Rare materials being used. I may have to get more Erodium heat sinks. I may not have enough of those heat sinks. I think we're going to be out of heat sinks, boys. That's okay. I think I've got stuff to scrap for heat sinks. Okay. Oh, wow. We need everything. Okay. Let's go take a look. The first part's easy. I know that Mon Mothma can do this. So we'll craft a couple of these. That part's good. Gideon. We'll craft a couple of these. Oh, we don't have enough. All right. We got armor if we need more. Let's go over to the scavenger, see how we're doing on Zinbittles. So what would we need here? How many total do we need for this? Is it 10 or 20? Where is he? Where's my... Oh, he's got no skills on it, so he's way down here. Look at this. That's funny. All right. 10. We only need 10 of them. Yeah. We could probably get by with that. Ooh. You look very scary. What do you think, guys? Say in chat. Are you guys scared? So, a properly scary child. Okay, so we need 15 of these and 5 of the Zimbittle cards. Here we go. Relic 7. Amplify. Relic 8C. I've managed to acquire 10 of my impulse detectors. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway to a Relic 8 character. Halfway there. All right, we still got a lot of stuff to do on him, though. Let's assign a loadout, get it on there. Cannot place mods into my inventory. All right, well, I have so many mods that I have to sell mods before I can swap mods. That's interesting. Confirm. It takes them off, puts them in inventory, and then puts them on my character. Huh. All right. Zeta number 1. Zeta number 2. Zeta number 3. Zeta number 4. Zeta number 5. Zeta number 6. Bam. All right, guys, is this character in good shape? Let's have a look. 148,000 on health, 534 on speed, potency, tenacity, blah, 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 damage, 57% armor. I did put one defense stat on him. I would much rather it be a defense set with a health stat. But you can't argue with 27 speed, so it's kind of the best mod that I have for him right now. So we'll see. We'll see later if we can get a mod like this with health on it at some point and speed. Then we'll get a defense set on him. Or a health stat triangle of some kind. It was called C mods in the last tab. Oh, okay. I just didn't see that mod. How much GP did you gain? 42, right here. 42. So we're at 1936. Oh, because we took the mods off Kenobi. We unmodded Kenobi. So once we get mods back on Kenobi, then we'll be back where we need to be. We're just going to put this mod on him for now. We'll just throw that on. It's not the best mod. We'll replace it later with something better, but that gives us at least the set bonuses. Kenobi's back in business. Galactic power should be back around 140. 1940. Brilliant. All right. So there we go. Sith Eternal Emperor. We can kick him out of favorites right away because he's done. He's been in the oven. He's cooked. Now for the account, let's take a look at what happened there for the week. So after we got the Sith Eternal unlocked, we'd been sitting on gear and waiting because I wanted to take him straight to Relic 7, which we did. But then we still have gear. We can still develop some characters. We're going to prioritize the characters in this Jedi Master Kenobi journey because that's our next big objective. Yoda is a piece away, and that's the same piece that we had to get for Sith Eternal, so we used all them up. Jango would be nice to get to Gear 12, but we're short some of the pieces. And in the end, I decide not to try to push him. And we take a look at Shaak T. Now, I always feel like I'm a few Jedi short, and especially in 3v3, it really would be nice to have another Jedi to try to get some more power onto the table. So we're going to go ahead and develop Shaak T as a character, start her up just to get another good Jedi into our Jedi team, because we really are one good Jedi short of having, something to play with at least. So we're going to put skills on her, and I'm going to take you through these skills. You can see that on the basic, it adds a dispel to the basic. So we're definitely going to invest in the Omega there. Some people ask me sometimes why I don't put Omegas on a lot of skills. The skills have to make a difference. This one dispels all debuffs on allies. So it's a huge difference. It can be a game changer if you get that skill off in the right way at the right time. So those are definitely Omegas. This one is a clone trooper attacks again. We're not planning to put her in a clone team, so we don't develop that skill, Omega or the leadership. This one, the last skill is a Zeta, and again, it's for clone troopers with her as a lead. So we're not going to work on that. It's the retribution one, I think. All right, so then we're going to put mod set on her. We're just going to go with speed and health, just a basic mod set, and we end up at 269 speed. That's pretty good. It's a little over 100 extra speed that we've given her. And of course, she's only at 129 base speed at this gear tier. So she'll get up hopefully about 290 by the time we develop her. We can take another gear tier upgrade for Wat Tambor, so we do that first. We're going to upgrade the Magna Guard. Then that used up a lot of our green pluses, so it's not looking like a whole lot more stuff that we can do over on this tab. There's going to be an opportunity for us to relic this Kenobi pretty easily. I'm looking through his gear, and I need about 1.5 pieces to farm. The top piece, I just need like half of the finishers there. So all these right side pieces come out of fleet, but certainly the 75 or so pieces that we need, we're going to be able to farm up. So I'll set the target to relic Kenobi. In week 54, we'll give him a tight timeline for that. Should be no problem to get him finished out and relicked. Darth Traya has been sitting around. We relicked C, and we had 1 Zeta's worth of materials left over. Exactly 20. And I've said that I'm not going to build Traya until I can go ahead and put the Zeta on her. This is where enemies take attacks outside their turn. It does 35% of their health and damage to them. It's great for killing Geos, Mon Mothma teams, a bunch of different things. So we're going to build the Traya. For now, we're going to try to give her a lot of defensive stats and just try to keep her alive. It's pretty much for weak Grand Arena teams, things that assist a lot. Maybe there's a Geo team we'll use her for, or something like Mon Mothma seems like the best targets. So we got her up to 215 speed. It's pretty good for now. It's good enough. And again, we're going to try to get her gear up. She's stuck on a weak piece of gear. And you guys know by now, I hope, what it is that I do when I need that kind of gear. We throw it into a guild request and hope that people are nice enough to go ahead and fork that over to us so that we don't have to take a break out of our normal routine and farm it. So we'll ask those guys to be nice and see if we can hook ourselves up with a little bit of that material. So that's the planned changes that I had for the week, and that put me at 1963. And then discovered that in order to play normal conquest, we needed to be at 2 million galactic power. And I understand that they're going to give rewards to the people that got stuck doing easy, but I figured since I was only 40,000 away, I would go ahead and get the account up to 2 million and play it out in hopes that maybe the rewards for normal are going to be a little bit better if you actually play it out. I don't mind. I want the experience of playing it out anyway. And so I went ahead and committed to that. Again, I did that as part of a live stream. So I'll clip that in here so that we don't have to go look for that elsewhere. We're going to go ahead and unlock this Umbran Starfighter to try to get our galactic power up. All right, here we go. Let's give it some stars, boys. We can get it to 6 stars. We're close to 7 stars, but look at that galactic power go. We haven't even leveled the ship up, and it's 22,000 galactic power already. This might be the easiest 40,000 galactic power we've ever built, right? Well, let's take a look. Let's watch this carefully. 24.5. And then when we level it up, where does that get us? 26.5? Man, leveling it up did like nothing. Crew member 5s needs to have higher gear. So the stars cost me a ton of galactic power, but the leveling it to 85 didn't really change anything. Okay, we need this, right? When the Umbran Starfighter attacks, it gains offense and loses defense stacking until the end of the encounter. We want that, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we want that. Reinforce. Let's see. Remove turn meter. Grant defense up and target lock. We're not really going to use him. I think he's going to be one of our starting 3 once we get him going. All right, let's take a look at this 5s. Oh, he's on a super greedy gear tier. He needs a 1.5 billion Carbantes to level up. 150 Carbantes for the next level. Zoinks. All right. Well, guys, it looks like 5s is not the answer to this equation here. Let's give him some skills. It's not going to increase our galactic power by that much. Let's see. 5 again. Oh, that's a Zeta. We're not going to do that. We're out of Zetas anyway. We have 0. Okay. All right. So where does that put us? 1996. 31,000. Still a little bit off. Yeah, we have some modless characters. Ooh, Watambor. We can promote him. Kira's never been modded. We can throw some mods on the Kira. Alright, how much GP is this getting us, guys? Let's confirm it. Oh, man, look at that. 199,476. Alright. Night Sister Zomba. Put a defense arrow up here. That should be it, though, right? That should be us at 2 million. All right, 2 million. I'll call it reversible galactic power. All right. And that gets us into normal. So that brings us back to the account. Week 53, right at 2 million galactic power. We got our 18th relic with the Sith Eternal Emperor. We have 31 Zetas now. We added 7 Zetas this week. 6 to the Sith Eternal Emperor, and then 1 onto Traya. So plus 7 Zetas for the week. Squad Arena, we've got a new C team. I think I'm probably only going to get that to the top 50. We still don't have his ultimate ability unlocked yet. So C with no ult and no armorer. We'll probably be in top 50. Maybe we can play up to top 20 a couple times. We're just going to have to see how that all works out and how far we get pushed down overnight. The Negotiator, we're going to continue to get top 5, usually first place if we get a chance to play. And the project, of course, is to get C his ult in week 55. That gets me a couple more weeks to finish out his ult. That's what we want to do. And then the other project, of course, will be to get that Kenobi to gear 13 in week 54. Energy use, we're just doing Dark Side until we get the tokens for that ultimate ability. And mostly I'll be farming back to gels. And that piece for Yoda comes off the dark side too, the binoculars or med pack or whatever. Yeah, binoculars. I think it's the binoculars. So we'll farm that stuff off of the dark side nodes, try to get Yoda to gear 12 and get those C tokens. Fleet, we're finishing up Zalbar. I think this week, by next week, we should be done with his shards and have that farm closed out. We still need more for Shaak T. In the Cantina, we're still working on signal data a little bit. We're working on mission. And T3M4, we do want to try to get that Jedi Knight Revan into our account. We'll do that. As a side journey, obviously we're doing the Kenobi journey as the main one, but I've got 3 out of the 5 requirements for JKR at the appropriate star level now. As soon as I finish out Zalbar, we'll be pretty close, pretty within striking distance. And then I'm just going to have to do a bunch of Cantina refreshes and push Mission and T3 to the appropriate star level, and we could go ahead and get that Jedi Knight Revan and build him up too. Again, to help out with our Jedi team. In terms of refreshes, we're still going to do 3 mod, 3 energy, 3 fleet for now. We'll probably swap out some of that energy for Cantina, and I have to see how I'm going to do in Squad Arena, whether or not that C is going to get me enough currency to do some more Cantina refreshes. In the Squad Arena store, we're still buying Prestige once a day, probably for a long time. Got a lot of capital ships to build. Just have to finish out the Malevolence, and then probably circle back around for one of the other capital ships. Obviously, when we get to 3.1 million, that's a ways away, but we've got to look forward to having 4 capital ships. And that's a lot of prestige that we need by then, so we'll keep storing that up daily. In the fleet store, it's the same long farms that we've been working on for a long time. Grievous, we're getting close to finishing him out. Rex is 170, the Umbran, they're all on their last shards home stretch. And then we're getting Zeta materials with anything that's left over. And everything else we're using to feed the shard shop. And right now, with the relief that we've gotten on, especially with the stun cuffs and the stun guns and the Mark 8 bio, I'm paying attention to what I do in the shard store. A lot of it is just the same thing. It's the same relic materials that we've always been buying. But there is an opportunity that I think it was Patrick Wagoner pointed out to me and said that you can also buy materials out of the shard shop that get you materials for impulse detectors for Relic 8. And I'm trying to see if I can work that into my shard shop currency, because I think that's a good idea. I feel like I'm always short on that currency, but now, because I don't have to buy the stun guns or stun cuffs out of there, I'll hopefully be able to convert those purchases and be able to push along the impulse detectors that way instead of having to hard farm all that stuff. Interesting. So I've been thinking about my galactic power. In Division 9, it goes up to 2.3 million. We're at 2 million now. It goes from 1.6 to 2.3. So we're about halfway through. When I started Division 9 at the bottom, due to the way that I built my account, I was already getting matched up against players at the top end, 500 to 700 galactic power higher than me. And although those matchups were fair at the high end of the count, those players always had more, stuff in the middle, more fill teams than I had. And those were fair matchups, and I won most of them. But in a way, it's not really fun being paired up against the top of the bracket when you're at the bottom of the bracket. So I'm not sure that I want to do that again, especially since a lot of people in that bracket at the top end of 3.1 is going to be a lot of Galactic Legends that I'll have to deal with, and I really have to get my armor and a lot of stuff built up to be ready to take out opposing SLKRs, things like that. So I feel like my account is not in good shape to take on an early SLKR account, for example. Or worse yet, somebody who's just been working at the game and did a gas journey into something like JML. I feel like I would be very weak against those teams. So trying to think, and I think I just need to... I don't really want to call it stalling, so I really want to focus on characters, not build galactic power in ships. We're halfway there already, and I have been getting 30,000 galactic power, 35,000 a week for the last 6 months, and that would push me up to the next division within 10 weeks. So that gives me like 2 more rounds of GAC to play, and then I would already be up in the next division. And I don't feel like I'm going to get enough account development if I just stay at that rate. So with that 300K that I have left, I feel like I really want to just work on some existing characters. And again, a 10-week timeline at my current relic rate would only be about 4 more characters going to Gear 13. and I would really like to have about 8 more. A few more Jedi, Kenobi, probably get Bosk to Gear 13 Relic 0 at least for the Hound's Tooth to be just a little bit better. So I feel like there's a handful of characters that I do need to develop to stabilize my account for fighting up that much galactic power, which I fully expect I'll be doing as soon as I get to Division 8. We do want to take Gideon to Relic 5 for the Sea Pit, and the alt on Sea does add, I think, almost 10,000 galactic power, if I remember correctly. So we'll have to account for a few big chunks. But if we just take Gideon and Sea as sort of the big hitters, getting 300,000 more galactic power of characters by just working on the existing characters that we have in the account is really a lot of added power. And I figure that should take 12 to 16 weeks if we do it this way. And it's not really stalling. I feel more like it's just a slow roll. And then for some of the characters at the lower end of the account as well, we'll save up some gear. And then right when we hit Division 8, we'll go ahead and go from the bottom at 2.3, and we'll try to pop ourselves up right away to about 2.6. I figure that we could have probably 250,000 worth of ships and relic levels. By then I should have the Hyena Bomber and Vulture Droid at least in a position where I could get them opened up and working. So we'll just work on some of the harder characters, work them through their greedy armor or greedy levels. We'll get the armor for C, and then we'll wait on those ships, and we'll wait on some of the relic levels for our characters, and then just kind of, bust into Division 8 off the bottom end with an account that we feel like is going to be able to compete against the people I'm going to get matched up against at the high end. So that's a little bit my plan. The last time I pushed up early, and I thought maybe I could get better matchups. But with all the relics that I've been building, my account really is top heavy, and I got matched up right away. So it was not an advantage to me to come in at the bottom end. So that's a bit the planning. That's my thoughts. So for the next few weeks of these account reviews, we'll be working on our progress, but it'll mostly just be Gear 13 Relic 0 on a bunch of characters, working on the characters that we have developed, and then getting ready to bust into Division 8. That's it. That's the account review for week 53. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Here's Grandma Mod reminding us all, gotta farm our mods. Mods are what differentiate a good account from a great one. If you don't have a good mod strategy, get one today. Get working on that stuff. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. That helps me. It helps the channel. It helps these videos get more views, which I certainly appreciate. Subscribe to watch more like this in the future. And join us over on the Discord. We've got a fabulous Discord for the Darth Loquitur system. A lot of good people over there. New players asking questions that you probably want to know the answer to, and experienced players that are willing to help and answer questions. So it's a great community. Come on over. Hope to see you there. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next holocron.